Welcome back to Talk to Al Jazeera. Our guest, Dr. Abdullah, the man who's emerged as Hamid Karzai's main challenger in the Afghan presidential elections, which are now just days away.
One newspaper recently quoted your campaign manager as saying your people would be on the streets if you lost. I know that your campaign has said very strongly that he was misquoted. But the issue at stake there, can I raise, is there a danger, given the politically charged atmosphere in this country, that although this election is supposed to solve things, it may polarize things and lead to trouble?
That has been cleared already. In that quote was from an independent commentator rather than my campaign manager. But at the same time, I mentioned earlier, our effort is to save Afghanistan. If we put stability at risk ourselves, so what's the aim? My focus is on my campaign, first of all, on how to prevent rigging from now until then, until the elections day. And I'm sure that the incumbent will not be able to steal the result of the elections. So my focus is on this, and I will not speculate on what will happen. But I can say and reiterate that security and stability in Afghanistan is utmost in my mind, and we will not sacrifice that, and we shouldn't.
I know you come from a Pashtun family background, but you are seen very much as being one of the leading lights in what was formerly called the Northern Alliance. Is that working against you?
I think forget about these comments made by so-called some urban elites here and there. The people have got the message. They consider me as an Afghan, as a Muslim, fully knowing my background. My background is known to the Afghan people, and I was known to the Afghan people before these current leaders became known to them. So the welcome which they have shown from my agenda, from my program and my campaign, that shows that the people have moved beyond those sort of narrow thinking. Let a few people play with these ideas. But I am focused on grassroots people, which in their support for my campaign, they have crossed certain boundaries: ethnic, linguistic, regional, even religious, and factional. That's very new. That's very new in Afghanistan. So in my campaign, you see people from all backgrounds, from all ethnic groups, from all over Afghanistan, and support is not limited to one particular area. But there is no doubt that as we move along, it gets more momentum, and that momentum can only get more and more.
Increasingly, people are beginning to see this as a two-horse race. So can I ask you about your challenger? In 2001, the Americans arrived in this country, American Special Forces, along with fighters. You were there. You were one of the leading figures in this country. You were one of those people who agreed to Hamid Karzai being the president. Why are you now standing against the man that you were so loyally behind 8 years ago?
Not only that, I was the one who helped him and who supported him before anybody else did, and who raised his name among the Afghan leaders here in Afghanistan, as well as amongst our international friends. So the idea that as if Americans imposed that name on the Afghans, that's wrong from the basis. Yes, the Americans had links with Mr. Karzai, and they put him on something and took him to Uruzgan, like what they did with the others, but we were on the ground. Our feet was on the ground already. So we thought we took that as a positive sign that he has good relations with the Americans. It was us who raised this name. It was us who supported this name in the Bonn Conference, not his own group, which was Rome Group. If you see the history of Bonn Conference, Rome Group, majority, they didn't support Hamid Karzai, though he belonged to that. Our idea was to support somebody from a different group, which is from the south. In our idea was that he's a moderate Muslim. He believes in national unity. He doesn't have prejudice one way or another. And unfortunately, our perception was that he might turn to be a competent leader, which proved to be untrue in all those anticipations. So the fact that he has turned a golden opportunity into a disastrous situation doesn't leave any place for him in our mind or in the minds of the people of Afghanistan. So unfortunately, his failure has led to the disappointment of the people as well as us who supported him. It wasn't just like supported him, it was like preparing the chair for him to sit. Yes?
He has refused so far to take part in debates with you. The one debate has already been held on one of the main commercial channels, Tolo Television. How are your relations with Hamid Karzai? And if Dr. Abdullah was the new president of Afghanistan, do you think Hamid Karzai still has any role to play in this country?
I think in terms of refusing to participate in debate, the other candidates participate and they say that this is my agenda, but he has a record, which is a failing record. So if he will be able to do something, why is it that he couldn't do it in the past 8 years? So what is it that he promises to the people? So I think he doesn't have an answer to the people or to the challengers. That was obvious for me. But as far as Afghanistan is concerned, the future of Afghanistan is concerned, yes, political figures, political leadership, political movements stay longer than you anticipate. But he has so much linked his own political future to the presidency. Yes, that I don't know from his part. I don't know whether he can see himself once again as a citizen in this country, or he thinks that he is the God-chosen leader for this country, and he will be the president all the time. So, from my point of view, yes, accommodation, working together is something that one has to be prepared at any circumstances.
But no father of the nation or elder statesman role in your administration?
Perhaps a brother of the nation, because we already had a father of the nation, or anything. But I mean, it's important that one is not rejecting other people, but at the same time, our ways are very different, and hopefully we will have a change in this country.
Do you believe this will go to a second round?
It might. At least, yeah.
Can I ask you one last question, and it's the key question?
Sure.
Why should Afghans vote for you?
I think before answering that questions, the people of Afghanistan have already answered in the way, to the extent that it was possible for them by supporting my campaign. And why should they vote for me? I'm an agent for change in this country, for positive change. And my record in this country is very unique. It's a bit, from the Afghan traditional point of view, it's a bit strange to talk about yourself. But look at the record of all 41 candidates. Yes, President Karzai, we facilitate for him, and then the world supported him, and he stayed for 8 years. Mine is one who has stayed with the nation in the hardest times, and has tried to make peace in this country and to find a way for the future throughout, including during the Bonn conference. So I think it's a unique record.